Hey everyone, welcome to Yurick Podcast. So, today I have for you the one and only Craig Kelly McDonald, or Craig McDonald, in the UK at least. So yeah, today we have Craig Kelly. He's someone I met on Ryan's film, The Backseat. Me and Craig, we just kind of hit it off when we started talking about Pokemon. He was a fan of Pokemon, and so was I, and we just got to talking about it, and that's kind of how we bonded and kind of became friends off of that. And also we had him on the podcast on some shit we like too, and it was just fun hanging out with them, talking about movies and video games. That's pretty much what we do in this episode too, but we also talk about acting and kind of like how acting has changed a bit as far as auditions go, compared to before COVID and after COVID. And we also talk about how he moved here from Scotland over to New York to pursue his acting career. And we talk about some of his current projects and past projects. So this is a really good interview, especially if you're an actor. I highly recommend you listen to this. He has a lot of great things to say. And we do also go off on tangents about Pokemon because, like I said, we're both Pokemon fans. And then we also kind of talk a little bit about video games as well too. Because we talked about what he's been up to during this whole quarantine. Be sure to follow his current project as well. All the links will be in the description. And here is Craig Kelly McDonald, talking about what he loves. But first, a quick little ad. All right, so I'm here today with, should I say Craig Kelly? Because I know you kind of switched it up a bit, right?
No, throw the McDonald in there, man. That's where I go. There's already like two other Craig Kellys in the UK, so I can't be Craig Kelly anymore.
Okay. Well, in the US, I think you're Craig Kelly, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I really, truly appreciate it.
Hell yeah, man. Of course.
Yeah. As people have already heard, I had Ryan on last week, which is kind of like how we met, is through Ryan.
Yeah.
Because you were on his film.
We're doing The Backseat. And we both played high school students, which is hilarious. Look that was like 7 years ago.
About 7 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. And again, we didn't look like high school students then, and we definitely don't look like high school
now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how we met. And then I think what we mostly kind of bonded over was Pokemon.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, yeah.
We both love Pokemon.
Yeah. Not too long after that, the new X and Y games came out.
Yeah.
And you were like, dude, have you got it? I was like, I've got it. It was like October 12th. I remember the day just before my birthday. And then finished filming Living with the Dead that day, and I bought it and went home. And it was such an adventure, man.
Yeah,
you've been playing Sword and Shield and everything as well, right?
Oh yeah, I passed it.
Yeah.
I just got the DLC, so I've been playing a lot of the DLC now.
Nice. Is it worth it?
I think so, because they've added, it's basically like its own new island now. So it's like more Pokemon, and then they added some of the original 150 too.
Amazing.
So, yeah, I've been trying to catch a Snorlax.
Snorlax, man, that's my boy. Actually, I've got a big Snorlax. Where is he?
Oh, really?
Oh, buddy, come on.
That's awesome.
My man, my boy. I think, he's the only Snorlax I've got in here.
I actually have a Pikachu that Bryce got me from Japan. There's a Japan exclusive.
They love dressing them up and stuff. That's
so
cool.
You got it from the Pokemon store, yeah.
Amazing. Nerds, and I don't care. Pokemon forever, man.
Exactly. Going off topic already. Here we go now.
Back to it.
All right. So yeah, man. I have to ask you about acting. Was this always a passion for you, or was there a different career choice that you were thinking about?
No, I was going to join the army originally.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you talked to that. Yeah, I left high school at 15 because you can do that in the UK. So I just turned. As long as you have something else going on, you can't just you can leave at 16 if you want to, but if you want to leave before that, I think you can leave at 15's the earliest if you've got something else to go to. So I did this training thing with the army. I'm like, yeah, I like that. Let's go. So I left and then did this I still wasn't old enough to join up. So I had to do this pre-training infantry thing. And it was decent, but all the people I was doing it with were not good dudes. like this was their last resort for me. I was like, I want to do this. This will be cool. They were all like, just not. This is the only thing they kind of could have done. It seems like, and they did not like me, and it didn't really go well. And then once we kind of graduated that, it would have been like that for 3 years for like basic training and stuff. And I was just like, I can't do this with these guys. This is not kind of what I thought. So I left that, and then got a job in a hotel working like the breakfast shift for a few months, and then applied to go to college to do some acting. Did that, and I was like, this is kind of cool. Then applied to some other schools and got into school in New York. And then that's kind of when I started taking it seriously. I was like, oh shit, I'm leaving home, I'm traveling the world. I better buckle down. And yeah, that was kind of how it happened.
So it was just kind of like rolled right into it then with the.
Yeah, I always enjoyed it. I did it in school for a little bit, like some like school plays, and I was in I was in bands all my life, so I played the drums. I can sing like a little bit, so like I was like performance wise was fun. And I was a big fucking idiot with all my friends. Like I'd always do stupid shit to make people laugh and to have a really good time, and still do. It's great, fun way to live. And yeah, so I think the acting thing came from that, just the lifestyle as well. Like my ultimate dream is to like travel the world and film in different locations and play different kind of parts and yeah, just make it a career.
So how was it like then from moving from over there to here to New York? Like was it a different, like how different, how culture shock were you?
Oh, it was insane. I mean, I grew up on American TV, like kind of most people, but still it was insane. Like I'm from Aberdeen up north in Scotland. So it's still like a decently sized city, but then moving to New York, like one of the biggest cities in the world, was insane. And even just my accent changed just out of necessity because nobody can understand a word I was saying all the time. Even with like regular conversations, I'd be like blah 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 blah, and they'd be like, "What? I'm speaking English. Like what's going on?" So I had to like get rid of my slang words and then just talk like properly. And then eventually, for the acting thing, I had to learn like an American accent and get into doing that for different roles so I wouldn't get like pigeonholed or like typecast too much. And then it went well, and then I could do both really well, but it went in and out, and I kept getting so much shit from all my friends back home whenever I would come home for Christmas or anything. I'd be like, yeah guys, let me just run to the ATM. Even just that, they're like, it's the bank machine, it's not the ATM, and then just stuff like that. Like, oh, Jesus, sorry. Yeah, but it was totally crazy, man. But it was great because I was in student dorms with like loads of other kind of 18-year-old kids who were all traveling from all different parts of the States and like Canada and Australia and England as well. And we were all just kind of finding our feet, but there was a lot of kind of American culture that I just embraced so much. I loved it. It was my favorite time on earth, was being in New York. Yeah.
So did you finish college in New York? And
I finished New York Conservatory for Dramatic Arts. I managed to get an O1 visa just after I graduated, which was amazing. And then I did obviously the Backseat, and then I did another film with Christine called Living with the Dead, and a couple other like bits and bobs. And then I came home for Christmas, and there was like problems with the visa, and it ended up being revoked, which was insane.
Oh,
and
wow.
I couldn't go back. I couldn't go back across.
Oh, so was the Backseat one of the first things you auditioned for, or like after college, or?
Yeah, the Backseat was the first feature I'd ever done.
Oh, the first feature.
I think in any capacity, which was amazing. But I think the first thing I did was a film called Chubby Hubby by this dude called Taylor, who Ryan, like funnily enough, like Ryan told me the story a couple of times. It's so cool. Like Ryan was at the audition for Chubby Hubby, this like student film for SVA, I think it was. It was Taylor Levy who directed it and wrote it, I believe, or his brother wrote it, Grant, I think. And then Ryan was at the audition when I kind of came in and played this kind of like punk ass dude, and he wrote in his kind of like little notebook like, "Oh, this guy's good, yeah." And then like a year and a half later, like I applied for the Backseat and came in, and then I got the role. And I don't think Ryan told me about that until ages after. He was like, I was at the audition for like Chubby Hubby, like I know Taylor and all that. I'm like, wait, what? I wrote down here that you were a good actor. And I was like, what the and it was just so weird how he was at that audition. He saw me, and then I randomly auditioned for this other film and got in there. Yeah.
That's so cool. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool. I keep forgetting about that until I kind of my memory gets jogged. I'm like, oh yeah, all the chains of events that led to that. That was really awesome.
Yeah. So I know on the backseat, you were the only one that knew how to play an instrument, huh? If I remember correctly.
Can you say that again?
You were the only one who knew how to play an instrument, right? On the
Yeah.
backseat, I
I
think it
auditioned
was.
for the drummer originally,
Uh,
but then Ryan was like, "Can you play bass?" I said, "No." He was like, "Will you learn?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "You got the part." I was like, "Sweet, okay." But yeah, I think Costa. Yeah, so
also
Costa,
played. Yeah.
who ended up playing the drums, he could play guitar.
Yeah.
And then I could play the drums, who ended up playing the bass. And Chris, who couldn't play fucking anything, ended up being like the front man, the singer, guitarist. So we all had to like learn new instruments along with the characters and stuff. And yeah, I think Ryan just liked to make it hard for us.
See, it's funny because I'm actually a bass player.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I picked that because I'm like, all right, 4 strings, how hard could it be? You know, compared to the guitar. And then like, okay, it can be really hard.
Yeah, it's got its tricks. Like I learned like the 4 songs for the Backseat, and that was it. I was like, cool. That's it. Yeah, it was great. A really good time doing it.
Yeah, and then you said after that you did Living with the Dead.
Living with the Dead.
Christine.
Living with the Dead, a love story, and Christine, who was the costume designer and a lot of the art department on the Backseat, wrote and directed Living with the Dead, and she asked me to come along and audition for one of the lead roles of Ish, and I got it, and I had to do an American accent, which was great, and I was clean shaven, which was weird. And it'd be like this like little homeless kind of fairy kid. It was great, and just I got to play around in the woods in upstate New York for like a few weeks. It was awesome. I came down with like a massive cold the first week there, and I was just be like allergic to everything, and so I was just like in this cabin, and it was like sneezing and crying and like itching everywhere, and they're like, all right, 6 a.m. call time. I'm like, cool, yeah, all right, I got this, professional, let's go. I just had to get through it, and yeah, I think it was just me adapting to the new surroundings.
Right. Mm-hmm. So when you're looking for a part, or when you're looking or reading through the parts, like what's kind of like your process when you go through it and you start reading the character and the story of it, like how much do you find things? Because I'm curious with actors, like some like find things and try to relate it to like their own personal experience, while others can just read it and say, okay, I got this, and just do it. Are you kind of that way too, or?
You mean when I'm deciding like how to play the character, or when I'm deciding when to audition for it or something? Like when I've got the role.
Once you got the role.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like you said, it's completely different depending on the writing and the character and stuff. Like some things I just read off the page and I'm like, cool, I got this. And other things I was like, oh, cool, all right, I've never done this thing that this character's doing, like played bass. I should probably actually learn to do that. There's some things you can't fake. And then like, and if you can, like emotionally, like go to certain places that the characters like go to as well. You know, if in the film a tragedy strikes or something like that, and you know you haven't had anything that severe happen in your life, if you can get there however you can, just kind of do your job, just like you know, pretend in your mind, or there's so many kind of ways to get there, but it's hard. Yeah, sometimes I get roles and I'm like, this is good, I have no idea how to do this, and other ones, I mean, but most of the roles I get suit me, which is kind of why I get them. Yeah, you know, I'll get like hipsters or musicians or barista coffee dudes, some stuff like that for like all the commercials and that, or just like best friends, or like the themes of the film and the dialogue I really kind of vibe with. I had an audition recently for like a period piece over here in London. So it was like, it's kind of like The Crown and stuff. So I'm like, I don't know how the fucking, so I had to like put on like a proper clipped British accent and be like uptight, and I didn't get the role because that's not really me. There's certain things you can, you know, you've just got to fake as best you can.
Yeah. So how are what about auditions? Like, are you a fan of them, or like do you vibe? Because I know some people kind of like are like just don't really enjoy the audition process, and some just enjoy it and just like live for it.
I mean, I definitely don't live for it. I think you got to do it. It's a job. It's the job I'm in. You know, you have to go through this shit until you get big enough to start just getting offers. You know, be like, oh, we know him. Yeah, I think I've been offered like one thing in my career, which was a voiceover thing, which was amazing. Like my voiceover agents here, damn good voices. They're like, hey Craig, next Thursday you've got a gig. I'm like, I've got a gig. They're like, yeah, like they listened to your voice and they thought it was great, and here you go. I'm like, oh, that's so nice. And I thought that must be what it's like for the famous people, when they're just so good and so like recognized, they just get offers. But no, auditions are great, dude. They're good practice, if anything, to keep nailing it as well. Because even now, there's with not much going on, there's like workshops and like classes and different things, and I keep trying to do them. I've done like 2 or 3 this year kind of already, just to stay on top of my game. And it's just about kind of looking at a script, and you've got like 2 days to learn it, like make a character and tape yourself doing it, because everything's on tape now. Nothing is really in person. Like I had one since the pandemic. I've had one in-person audition. It was like a callback for something the director wanted to see us, but then the director was on Zoom in America, so no point. Like he was on, like it was a casting director there and director on like a Mac here. It's like, hi Craig, yeah. He just wanted to see me like in person, but he wasn't in person either. It's mental.
Yeah.
But everything else has been on tape, and yeah, I like them if it's especially like comedy stuff or like well written stuff. I love doing if it's like a hard, intense like script that's rough to get into. It'll take a while, but that's the work. Sometimes you enjoy your work, sometimes you don't, and most of the time I do, thankfully, which is amazing.
So you're pretty good at like at the last minute you go in, you don't know nothing about it, and like, okay, here are your sides, you got 5 minutes, are you able to just to take that and just go in and do it, or like?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it hasn't happened in a while. That's usually when you're in person, because you usually have at least a couple of days to prep and like think of things. I think that situation will only happen if you go in and then maybe like a director will whisper to someone else that maybe you could play this role instead, and then they just give you, try out this character, go out for an interview. Oh god! But then it's another like part of the craft is how to look at something and be like, all right, make some, and in that moment you just got to make some big choices. Be like, right, do this, see if it works. All right, let's go, and then just try and be as free as possible in that.
Yeah. Yeah, I never really mentioned this, but like I actually wanted to be an actor when I was younger myself. So like I've only been to like 2 or 3 auditions, and I had that moment where like, here your sides go, and I wasn't trained or anything. Like I just did high school stuff, so I was like this was straight out of high school. I'm like, oh fuck. So I went, and obviously it went terribly bad.
What kind of thing was it for?
It was a Disney thing, actually.
Oh, cool.
I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was for like some Disney Channel show.
Yeah.
But yeah, that went really bad.
Even that, like, they shouldn't. I mean, they're doing really well not to do that to people anymore, because actors, like, there was one audition. Can I talk about it? Yeah, I can't say what it was. It was for Doctor Who. I had like a really big audition for Doctor Who over here, and I was like, oh yes, amazing. And then they were like, yeah, can you get it in for like tomorrow at midday? And then I looked at the script and it was 7 pages. I'm like, no, that's fucking insane. I can't. And over here, they expect you to be off book. You got to learn that shit. You can't kind of look down and look up. And I was working at the time. I'm like, no, sorry, no. And I emailed my agents like, please, can you get an extension? They're like, yeah, use a few days. And I was like, thank God. But if like, that's not enough time. If it's like a line or something, like voiceover auditions turn around quick. Sometimes my agent will be like, get this back to us by today at 6, and it's like one line from a commercial, like try new do. Like, cool, yeah, you can bash out a couple of those and send it back.
Speaking of those bad auditions, have you had pretty terrible auditions or?
Yeah.
How did those go?
I think the worst one I can think of was when I first moved to London. My agent put me up for a pantomime, like a Christmas kind of panto thing, and because I can sing like decently well, like I'm good at karaoke, but I'm not like Broadway West End level or anything like that. And it was for Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, and the audition was like, yeah, come in with like a song, and that was it. Just have some bars, and you might have to read some scripts. I was like, cool, I know a song. I know a bunch of songs. And in my head, I was like, yeah, I'll sing like a Bowling for Soup song, like one of my favorite bands. And then I walk in and there's like the director there, and then there's this pianist who's ready. He's like, do you have your sheet music? I'm like, sheet music? No. What? And they're like, oh, to accompany on the piano. I'm like, no, I was just gonna sing the song. And then he was like, okay, a cappella, sure thing. And then I sang the song, and it was about a dude writing a song for his girlfriend, because his girlfriend won't shut the fuck up about asking him to write a song for her. like not musical theater whatsoever. And I just sang it, and they were like, "Okay, yeah, really powerful there. Do you know any like musical songs?" I was like, "I think I know one from Rent." And then the dude started like playing Seasons of Love, I think it was called, on piano. And I knew like a bit of it, and then I started singing it. I'm like, I don't know the words anymore. I just kind of made it up in my head. And the director was like, "Okay, yeah, thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in." I was like, "Yeah, definitely, fuck that." But I mean, pantomimes wasn't really my kind of thing, so I wasn't too bothered. But yeah, just everybody else had this like pages of music, and they were playing the piano or been dancing and all that, and I just came in and winged it. So that was pretty embarrassing. But yeah, recently it's all been on tape, so we don't really get feedback. We just tape ourselves and send it off and wait to see what happens.
Yeah, I guess now it's kind of a lot more difficult to like. I mean, because you can't see it, you can't do it on person anymore. I guess everything has to be done through tape. How's that? Does that feel a little different to you, like compared to like going into in person where you can feel the vibe of the room rather than just
Yeah.
taping? Like, how do you enjoy the tape better than the in person, or?
I'm getting used to it now. Like I really like it. If I've got the time and I'm great, if they're like, "Hey, have it in by Monday," and I've got all weekend, it's like, yeah, cool. I can learn it. I can chill. Me and like one of my flatmates can talk through it and then do it, which is nice. But the only thing you don't get is like direct feedback in person. So if you do the one tape and the director will say, "Oh, he's a bit more kind. Like do with more love and more this." I'm like, "Oh, cool, got it." You just have to do what you think is best and send it off. So we always try to do like 2 versions on tape and send it away. And yeah, but that's it. But the good thing is you have as many tries as you want to make it perfect. So if I do the tape and I keep messing up the line, I start again, and then I can kind of cut it together myself and send it off.
Oh, so I guess it just kind of gives you a little bit more control then.
Yeah, definitely. I've had a bit of luck from the tapes. I had one job for this like corporate gig from lockdown that I did from a tape, and then I've been penciled. What day is it? Actually, I was penciled, which means like put on hold for this job in like towards the end of January. I'm looking at it. I was like, I'm pretty sure that job was like January 18th or something. I didn't hear back, so probably didn't get it. But I was like on hold for it. I need to look that up. Yeah, so it's been okay. Yeah, I'm getting good at the tapes, and I think I can start hopefully booking some stuff from the tapes now, which would be amazing.
As going through all this, like, as for someone who's listening right now who's an actor, like, what are some of like the advice that you can give them as far as like they're just starting out, especially now during like this weird transition from in person to like tape auditions?
Probably the same kind of advice that was given to me that I followed. That I changed my life. Just do everything when you're starting out. Like do everything you can. Do all the workshops. Go to all the events. Do all the plays, even if it doesn't pay or it's very low pay. Because like the Backseat and Living with the Dead, I made like next to no money from them. But like Ryan and Christine are 2 of my best friends and 2 of the best people I know out there now, and I think they always will be, hopefully. And obviously they're still in the industry, and that's led to so much more. And that's been amazing. And 2 of my best friends in London now, Ross McGowan, who's part of like Deadline Films, and then Charlie Dennis, I both met on like student films that they were unpaid, and just like a bit of fun, and it was good to kind of practice my craft in it. Yeah, so something always leads to something. It just takes a while. And with now, I think you just got to do more kind of classes and workshops and online things just to get good at what's needed just now. And right now is like the self tapes. So like I've got like this like white wall here. I've got a little tripod. I just use my iPhone, but I know how to kind of export it and edit stuff together and make it look a bit more professional. And yeah, that's what you need just now. Is you just being on top of your stuff, like finding out what's the best way to have all your shit together, and then just doing everything you can to slowly get there.
So I know you just mentioned your friend Ross.
Yeah, Ross.
Yeah. I know you did, like you mentioned, you did that short. I actually have it here. It was Shadowboxer, right?
Well, Shadowboxer, yeah, man. That was our latest film from Deadline Films.
Yeah.
So Deadline Films is a company I started with my best friend David Hepburn, who's also an actor here. And we're just sick of kind of sitting, waiting for the movies. So we decided to start writing our own, and then got some connections. Like I met Ross through a short film, I met Charlie through another one. I've got another friend, Adam, from back home. that we all just kind of know, and like, hey, you guys are directors, we're gonna write the script, we're gonna do this, can we all make it together? And we just started making films, man. And we did it like three years ago. We've made 9 films so far, which is
Wow.
awesome. Yeah, and they're all like, one of them, their first one, Hangover Food, we shot in one day in our like apartment, and it cost us like £200 to like hire some equipment and feed everyone, and that was it. It was all just friends and people were like, hey guys, this Saturday you're not doing it, come on, let's make this thing, it'll be great. And yeah, Shadow Boxer was our most recent one, which I wrote for the first time, like just solo, which
I
was
was
awesome.
going to mention, yeah, you wrote that too.
Yeah, it's Chris, our lead actor, Chris Evangelo. It's his story with him and Ross kind of came up with the story together, and then they put it over to me and like, can you put this on the paper? And I was like, yeah, man, absolutely. And my first screenplay, which I'm really kind of proud of. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you too, because when I saw it, I'm like, oh, okay, he writes too. All right, that's awesome. So, like, how was that then, writing your first script? Like,
I loved it, man. Yeah,
yeah,
I could see the story like in my head. Like I've always been a massive fan of Rocky, and like all the Creed films and like everything else
yeah,
like that. Um, so it was kind of in the similar vein. Our story takes place like in the boxing ring in the 9th round of this like big fight with Chris Evangelou and Hamza, who were kind of like stable buddies, and they fight each other for this title. And yeah, it was so great. But our lead actor, kind of Chris's dad, is in the opposite corner, like supporting his friend, and it's about him trying to like prove himself to his father, and going through just all the kind of mental health stuff you do with like kind of guys and their dads, and then testosterone and being a man and fighting, and yeah, it was a lot of that kind of tied into one. And yeah, I loved writing him. I really did.
that's pretty cool. Do you see yourself writing a full-on feature, or going anywhere, or writing more shorts?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
know you have written more shorts, right?
yeah. So we've got 2 more shorts kind of
Yeah.
written. Nothing has just been me. It's been me and David Hepburn, who's kind of my partner with Deadline Films. We've got 2 kind of comedy shorts written. One's called Women and Children First, which is about how women and children first get to go off of a boat, and it's about how 2 guys are arguing about why that's a thing. We're really excited to get to make that. We took off the Bill Burr joke of I don't know if you've seen it. He talks about about equality and then men and women getting paid the same. And Bill Burr's joke is that women don't get paid the same because if we're on a ship and it goes down, I'm fucking dying, and you get to leave with the kids, and that's why I make $2 more. Yeah. So this little short script we wrote was the ship's going down. The captain, played by me, runs in to this husband, wife, and kid. We're like, please, the ship's going down. We need to get everyone off. Let's go. I'm like, oh my God, let's go. And they grab their stuff, and then we escort the women and children off. And then I say to the husband's like, stay there, sir. We'll be back for you. And he's like, wait, what? No, I'm ready now. I was like, no, women and children first. We'll come back. What do you mean you come back? And we have this whole argument. It's really funny, kind of dark comedy. But yeah, feature-wise, sorry, I've been going off topic there.
Cool.
We've just finished our fucking like 10th draft of the Hangover Food feature film, which is our first short we did, and like a dark comedy vampire kind of horror comedy. And we've just finished the feature version of that, like 100 pages, and we've been going back and forth. So myself, David Hepburn, and Ross McGowan, who's directing it, all helped kind of co-write it.
Yeah. The short is up there on YouTube. Was it on YouTube or Vimeo? I think.
Yeah, it's on both.
It's on both. Okay. Yeah, I'll put the links in there. But like, that was hilarious. I absolutely loved it, and I can't wait for you guys to make that feature.
Thanks, dude. A lot of the stuff, like 2 idiots trying to figure out, and the feature will pick up like right after the short. So like David's been turned into a vampire. We're like, oh, what do we do? And again, 2 idiots coming up with plans. We're like, well, we got a killer. We got a killer, and then the curse will be reversed. They're like, yeah, and that's so then it's our adventure trying to figure all this stuff out.
Yeah. When I was watching it, like it really gives off like that, like the Edgar Wright, like Simon Pegg, Nick Frost type of comedy and banter. That's why when I watch, I'm like, oh God, I got to send this to everybody because they love those type of like Bryce and Mike love that. So like I'm sending it to everybody.
Yeah, thanks, dude. That's exactly what we're going for. Yeah, just like and those are the best films to make for me. Just fun stuff you get to do with your friends. Because we improv loads on that day. Like 5 o'clock came around and we like cracked open some beers and ordered some pizza. I'm like, all right, let's keep rolling, let's do it. Yeah, and it was so nice and chill, and we were doing lots of improv stuff, and yeah, and the feature will be exactly like that, just creating situations that are just wacky and hilarious and seeing what we can get up to.
Yeah. So I also saw too that you're also getting. I know you were in the A Word.
Yeah.
You had a part there, and then I know you recently posted you're going to be in a show called Traces.
Yeah, dude. So I did 6 episodes of this show called The A Word. It was on BBC One here in the UK. And the Sundance Channel bought it in the States, so it was out there for a while. Yeah, I was in season 1 and 2, and I played this dude called Gary the chef. Um, so like a really kind of supporting kind of role with all but it's a beautiful ensemble cast. It's got like Christopher Eccleston, Lee Ingleby, loads of other great people in it, and it's about this kid with autism and about how the kind of family deal with finding out their son has autism and everything else. But it's done such a hilarious, beautiful way. Yeah, it's really, really a great show. And then Traces. What I've just done. I'm in the first. Yeah, it's a brand new show. Premiered on Alibi Channel over here, and now it's on BBC One again, which is great. I think it's a 6-parter. I think there's only like a few episodes of it, and it's yeah, I'm in the first like 10 minutes of the first episode, which is awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I'm gonna have to fire up my VPN because there's no other way for me to watch it.
Yeah, dude, just sneak around all those barriers. You'll be all right.
Yeah, because like I'm honestly like me. I mean, me gushing over you is like you're a phenomenal actor, and like I really look forward to anything that you have to put out there. So
thank you, dude. I'm trying, man.
Yeah.
Really I mean, to be honest, during this pandemic, there was times where I'm like, fuck, what am I doing with my life? Like, I'm just gonna move to Japan and teach English or something. I'm just gonna just give up, and because like I lost like the job I was working, and then I had another job, and then I've had like 5 jobs kind of since lockdown, and so the whole finance stuff was like scaring the shit out of me. But it's good now. I've got like the sales job from home, and everything's fine. Everything's all right. But just your mind, I'm sure everyone's gone through so many versions of that during this pandemic, of just questioning everything. And like bunch of friends were like buying houses, and other people were like, I'm going to move out of London for a while. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to do this. I'm like, oh, and I just felt like, what am I doing? I need to, you felt that you compare yourself to everyone, and yeah, there was a lot of that going on.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing from like other friends that are actors. Like they're just sitting there, they're waiting, they want to do something, but because of what's going on, like it's so hard to just for an actor just to sit there and not do anything.
Yeah.
But
I'm lucky. I've got some great flatmates. We have like games nights, and we have a lot of fun. And like I said, I'm doing these like courses with casting directors, and we're kind of doing a lot of writing and keeping on top of our stuff. And even this year, I've had a lot of auditions this year already, which has been amazing. I'm just hoping to kind of hear back next week about a few of them and see how it goes.
Yeah. Don't stop, man. Because honestly, you have what it takes, man. You're it.
Thanks, dude. I really hope so. You gotta keep believing, but then not in a horrible, arrogant way that you see so many people out there. Like they just, you see them auditioning, you see them, you talk to them, you're like, oh, you've got no idea what it's really like, or you're so delusional, or you're so this. And yeah, I'm trying to find the line of like blind belief and then like keeping it real with myself. If I have a bad audition, or if something comes through, I'm like, right, man, that's not good enough. Come on, you got to get your shit together. You got to work on this. You got to do this and take another class and learn how to do a fucking English accent properly. That's when it still gets me. I get some auditions for like just English characters. It's just a classic, London accent or like an RP accent. And I'm like, oh, it fills me with such dread. I just can't do them well at all.
Are you just not a fan of the accent, or just because you just can't do them well, or
I just haven't learned? Like I spent all my time learning the American accent when I was there, and I was like, oh, it's great, and I should probably do the same here. But again, there's so many English actors. Like I don't want to play English characters, even though I look at James McAvoy, who's phenomenal at playing English roles, and he's so good at it. I've had a few like northern accents I've been getting away with. I've got some friends from Yorkshire. And then I had an audition for a couple of shows where you had to do like a northern accent, kind of like Jon Snow, kind of northern. And then I can do this. It's like a character-y thing, and they went well. Even I got some feedback from the cast director, like, "Good job on this one." Fuck, really? Thank you. It'll be in my head.
Yeah, that's something I actually kind of learned. I mean, I've knew about it, but I've kind of learned recently just because like I've started making some friends over overseas now because of me being on Twitch and just being part of the community. Like most of my friends now are over in the UK. Like there's just so many different accents. I guess kind of like in the US too, how you got accents from all over different states. Like you guys have different accents all over different parts of
Oh,
the UK.
yeah,
So
man. And people feel so strongly about it as well. Like the Northerners in England, they're like, "Yeah, we're from the north," and then I'm like, and then everyone from Scotland are like, "No, we're from the north. We're literally so much more north than you." But they think about it just in terms of England, and then everyone from London are like Southerners, and then there's like Welsh, and like even where I'm from, like Aberdeen, like we're known as like sheep shaggers, and we fuck sheep. Apparently, that's our thing. Everyone else from Scotland, like, oh, Aberdeen, you fuck sheep. And I'm like, okay, cool. But like nobody in England really thinks that's like a Scottish thing. But then everyone in England thinks like the Welsh are like, it's so many stupid stereotypes. But yeah, there's good and bad people from all different parts of the UK.
yeah, accents, man. Those are definitely difficult. Like,
Mm,
yeah, I don't even attempt to try them anymore.
no. 100%, because everyone's speaking English, and unless you're like it's the proper Welsh language. But even like some of my like, uncles and stuff in Scotland can't understand a word they say because they're grew up on a farm, worked all their life, and they're just like, there's honestly they just have their own slang words that they use, and they like their friends and family understand them, but anyone else, they're just like, what's that? Like, like fits in your motor. Like what? Like fits in your motor. It's like what's in your car? Like that's what that means.
Okay, yeah.
Just they use motor instead of car, and fit is like what, and it's silly things like that. It's just mad.
Yeah, it does fascinate me that though, like just language in general, like how people have all these different types of words for different things. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
so
but you speak Spanish as well, don't you? We
yeah,
talked
yeah,
long ago. Are you like is that your like family, or did you learn it,
yeah.
or like?
No, it's my family. Yeah, so
Oh, cool.
I'm Mexican, so
Oh,
like
fuck yeah, that's ace.
yeah, so I know Spanish because I grew up, learning Spanish with my mom and dad, and they, and like
Amazing.
now because of English being predominant here in LA at least or in America, like I pretty much kind of stopped speaking Spanish, so I understand it completely.
Mm-hmm.
I do speak it, but like I get embarrassed when I speak it because it just sounds bad.
Yeah, like you've been
So
so long without it, you're like, oh, I don't have it anymore.
yeah, I mean, like I can speak it, like I can. I just have to get over my embarrassment of how bad I
Yeah,
sound.
yeah. No, it's great. I think it's such a good language. That's one I want to learn. I did some Spanish kind of classes a few years ago in London. I was like, yeah, and then I just kind of fizzled out and I just stopped it. But yeah, I know a bunch of like little words and like stupid shit I can like push together. But yeah, nothing coherent.
What are some other things that you have going on? That's I know we did kind of talk a little bit about that, but like some of the things you might want to tell the people to watch out for.
Mostly the Deadline film stuff. We've been working on our website quite a lot recently, which is cool. So we're going to be launching that soon, and that's going to have a bunch of our films on there that have already kind of come out. And then Shadow Boxer will be releasing soon, kind of for the public. And then a few of our other films, Bite, which has just been starting to enter film festivals, which is great. And then The Hug Deal and Worst Dates we're going to be putting out there kind of soon. So yeah, we've been working on this like website to have all the everything in one area. To be honest, this amazing girl Abby has been working on it for us, and she's been killing it. It looks great. And we're really excited to send it off.
Right. Yeah. I think I just liked the Facebook page for it. It's this.
Yeah.
Is it an app or just a website with an app?
It'll just be the website for the Deadline film stuff. But there's I've got another project going on called Clippist right
That's
now.
the one I'm thinking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so Clippist is this will be a brand new streaming platform for short films and short documentaries only, and we'll be launching some point this year. We're currently kind of gathering the best kind of quality short films we can. So yeah, anyone kind of who's listening, please, if you have any short films, go to www.clippist.com and submit your films there, or just look for Clippist any of the socials. We're looking to launch soon, and it'll be a full kind of streaming platform where we just either we promote, we push, we'll do interviews, we'll do behind the scenes with all the films. Because any film we take on, we all watch. We're like, yeah, this is legit. People need to see this. Let's go. And if it's already been out there for a while or it's done the festival run, so many films just kind of fall on the wayside. Like people don't see them, and there's so much amazing films, and actors and directors and crew members that have worked on these films that we would love to show people. And that's what we're going for. But yeah, this is going to be good. Philip, who is our kind of leader, is amazing. He's designed this beautiful website as well, and it looks great. We've got some amazing films already, but we need we're looking to get 15 films to kick us off with. So yeah, we'd love to see any more.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll put all the links in the description so anyone who has a film can go check it out and submit.
Please, man, that'd be amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. Craig, is there anything else you want to talk about? I mean, I feel like we kind of covered a lot here, and
that was great, man. Yeah, unless any more Pokemon stuff. I think even in game wise, I'm playing Last of Us right now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, or Last of Us 2. Sorry, I mean, I assume
still, yeah.
Yeah, because we have like a PlayStation 4 like in the house, but it's in like the living room. We all share it, and then one of our flatmates moved out, so I bought it off them. So technically, it's mine now. I took it to the room, and I'm like, and I've just been playing through The Last of Us 2, man. It's beautiful. I haven't played like a game in ages. And the last one I did was God of War, and then I got like sunk into that. And then with the pandemic, I blasted through Breath of the Wild, which was happy. And now I'm doing Last of Us, which is great.
Nice. Yeah. We actually just we reviewed that a few months ago on the podcast, on the Some Shit We Like podcast.
Nice. Did you dig it overall, or what was your vibe?
Yeah. It's good. It's yeah. I don't want to say anymore. I don't want to give too much because it's good.
No spoilers at all.
Yeah, it's hard to explain the feelings of what you feel in this game.
I got I won't say any spoilers. I got to a certain point like last night, and I was like, oh god, here we go. This is the end. And I'm playing through it. I'm like, oh shit. And I'm going through it, and then like some stuff happens. And I'm like, all right, this is the end. And I text some friends who have played it already. I was like, guys, I'm here. Sent them a picture. And I was like, I'm probably gonna be like ending soon. I'm just gonna play through this until it's over. And like my friend replied, he was like, I highly recommend you don't play until it's over.
I know where you're at.
And I was like, how much? And I'm great because I'm enjoying the hell out of it. But I'm like, what else is gonna happen? Ugh. But yeah, you know where I'm at.
I know exactly where you're at. Yeah, I thought the exact same thing. And then I think it was Mike who's ahead of me, like, just go to bed.
Yeah. It was like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
What happens now? And now what? I'm like, okay, not much longer. And I check my phone. It's like, dude, don't keep playing. Stop. Take a break.
Yeah.
That's been great. Is there any other games you'd recommend? Kind of when I'm finished this.
Miles Morales.
Yes, that is on my list actually.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal game.
Cool.
Phenomenal game. I really recommend it.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I haven't really been playing too much. I want to play Cyberpunk, but with all the glitches and stuff, I'm like,
wait for that to be spoiled.
I'll wait a while.
Yeah, man. What do you do on Twitch?
Right now, I've just been playing a lot of indie games.
Okay, cool.
So like I played What Became of Edith Finch, Little Nightmares. Most of them have been kind of like horror games. So Little Nightmares is a good one. I recommend it. It's not too long. Probably finish it in like 6 hours.
Nice.
It's really weird.
Me too, yeah. Yeah, no, it'd be great, man. I'm looking at, obviously, PS5, but money and life. I'm like, will I use it enough? I'm probably going to wait for like the new Ratchet and Clank game to come out.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait for that.
Ratchet and Clank fan. But if it comes out for the PS4, great. But yeah,
most likely it will.
But even like Jack and Daxter, man, that was my number one games. And but Naughty Dog obviously moved over to make The Last of Us and Uncharted and stuff. They're like, yeah, these are great. And Jack and that just fell to the side. I love those games. I'd pay any amount of money to get any one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. But yeah, no, dude, all good, man. We're getting there. You all good over there? Happy and healthy?
Yeah, so far so good. Yeah, so far everything's been going good. Because of the pandemic and everything, like we kind of put we wouldn't necessarily put it on hold, but Some Shit We Like, the other podcast I do, like we do it in person, so we can't do it in person anymore.
Yeah.
And it's hard for Mike to have a place where it's quiet so we can record.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I can't stop not doing something, so I got to do something. So I made this podcast. I brought it to life, and I'm having a lot of fun with it because.
Dude, man. No, thank you so much for having me on. This was great, man. It was so nice to see you and catch up and just have a laugh and chill out on a Saturday night for me, and Saturday morning for you.
Saturday morning, yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks for getting up.
No problem. Anytime. So. Well, thanks again, man, for coming on the podcast. I appreciate it a lot. And
yeah, dude.
Do you have what's that?
Stay in touch. Any like Pokemon stuff, anything, send me over.
Oh, yeah. Do you have Sword and Shield?
Yeah, of course. I haven't played it in so long. Like I need to start a new game. Just be like, right, here we go. Like I played it just when it first came out. I went, and then so much other stuff got in the way, and then I just haven't touched it since then. So I think I'm almost ready to just start fresh.
All right, I'll have to send you my friend code then.
Yeah, man, please, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again, Craig.
Of course, dude.
Good to see you. It's been fun.